Hello and welcome to this painting breakdown video of the Ilfheim terrain piece, specifically here the mansion from the set. Again, I have a whole bunch of other terrain that I also painted up in the same method. It's fairly straightforward and very easy and friendly for the most part, except for the wash bit, which I'll cover here in a minute. So it's pretty straightforward. First off, I spray painted everything with Canadian Tire Premier Primer. It's their gray primer that they have, worked very well. Didn't even use up one whole can for over 200 pieces. It's definitely worth in the $8 or $9 for that can of primer. It turned out really well. Super happy with the coating. I also got black from them as well, not just gray, just so that I could do like the undersides. Just to make that look a little bit cleaner. Same with some of the other pieces as well. Underneath as well, they are fully black, so I did that spray first. I would also recommend maybe doing a zenithal prime. So again, that'd be a black primer, followed by maybe the gray, and then just a touch of white primer as well with the cans. I feel like that would maybe make them pop a little bit more. But anyways, I didn't go that route. Instead, I just primed them all gray, and then I created my own wash. So the wash, round one, was not very successful. Here's what's remaining. This pot was full when I started. My ratios were off. You can tell from in here, it's still a little bit liquidy in terms of its consistency. So what I found with creating your own wash, if it still sticks to your brush, like it's got to stick to your brush and not just run off. See there how I'm waiting here a little bit and you see it seeping down? That's about close to the consistency that you want it. And also with my first round of this wash too, there was a bit too much detergent. So all you need is some water, some craft paint, whatever color you want to do your wash in. For the stones and things, of course, I chose black, seep into the recesses. So with that, just a little dab, like one drop or two of dish detergent, dish soap, whatever you have. And I did about half of this, well, 3/4 water and the rest paint. But with this type of paint, it's very liquidy, so it runs very well to begin with. So in my situation, I should have done a 50-50 right off the bat, because it wasn't staying in the crevices. But anyways, that's trial and error. So with that, I coated all about 200 pieces of this set. Well, not just this set, but a couple of others. And it turned out really well. Didn't quite seep into all the crevices all that great with the wash. You can see here that I just coated it a little bit more in some areas that I missed. So that's going to dry, and the camera here, you can tell that there are, of course, some areas where it's a little bit darker than others, especially if we look at some of the flooring in here. Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference, but not too bad. So again, consistency was something I was aiming for, and I came pretty close to being consistent across the board. The only other deviations I used in terms of painting this terrain was use some craft paint for the wood, and then also for the roof. The roof is just crimson red, and then the wood is burnt umber. I also used Mechanicus gray for the touch-ups. So like this smoke, this chimney, for instance, is coated in that, and a few of the edges on this piece. And it kind of works well. I can't really notice the difference between what I painted that color and what I used a primer for. So if you're thinking of a good substitute for Mechanicus Standard Gray, this guy here from GW, that primer from Premier from Canadian Tire is perfect. So again, burnt umber was the other paint I used for the wood. Crimson red, or just crimson, was the one that I used from Artist Loft. Again, you could use any craft paint that you have, as long as it's acrylic. Worked really well. You might need to do 2 coats depending on whatever product you're using for printing. This stuff soaked up paint like crazy, so I had to do a couple of coats. And because of my wash mix-up, I did 2 full coats of wash over this. Of course, the first one just didn't work. Second time around, it worked a lot better, but not perfect, but it'll do. So that's pretty much it for the methodology behind this. Also, of course, used a bit of silver here as well on some of the knobs and things and nails. But besides that was pretty much most of the stuff that I used for the terrain. It's pretty straightforward and fairly painless besides the wash mix-up. So if you feel like starting your own project and using this method, by all means feel free. And I'll have a link in the description below to, again, the primer that I used as well. So, till next time, have a good one and happy painting.